A few days ago, I was confounded as far as why is it that Donald Trump has a 10-point lead in the economy? He has done nothing to really deserve that. And I expressed that there were problems in the repo markets and all of that that showed that the economy was about to fall anyhow, and that the coronavirus was likely just an excuse that was given. But altogether, he inherited a growing economy, and he didn't really keep the slope at the same pace. But, he still gets that persistent 10-point lead over Biden. Watch when this reporter figures out that there is something, this host figures out that there's something to that 10-point economy bump. Is it really? Does that 10-point really speak to the economy? Check this out.
The economy was doing well with the last administration. It was on an upward curve. It was going up. Donald Trump inherited that. The economy has fallen apart since this pandemic, and the pandemic has only gotten worse under Donald Trump's leadership. If there are people that are still on the fence right now, are they actually gettable voters?
Sure. Yeah, they are, because you've got to understand what that hook is that keeps them on the fence. You've got to understand what it will take to get them off the fence. I would contend to you that the hook, one of those hooks, is the economy. Despite, that the economy is flatlined and crashed and all of that, tell me why there's still a 10-point advantage to the president. They're not making the same assessment that a lot of the quote smart money or the smart people are making that about this and saying.
But what reality is that rooted in, Michael, is what I'm asking.
It's rooted in their reality. It's rooted in their reality. They feel whatever they're feeling, whatever they're taking away from it, they still give that kind of advantage to the president. And I think the Biden campaign and the Democratic Party and those who are ancillary to that have to understand at its core, what is it that's making these folks still think and tick in that direction. I'm not saying that, at the end of the day, they will or won't move off of Donald Trump. What I am saying is, if you want to run the kind of campaign you're going to need to win, you're going to have to understand that element of this as well. Because when you look at all the other metrics, Biden is leading. But a 10-point, given everything that we've seen on the economy, having a 10-point edge for Trump, you got to understand why that is.
I think this is where things get really interesting, because I wonder, is it actually the economy then, that maybe they're just using the economy as a stand-in for another feeling that they have about Donald Trump? So when the Biden team tries to figure out what is it that's going to make them feel more confident with Biden and vote for him, should they be looking at the economy or should they be looking at something else?
Katy, that's why I like it, Katy. You got your finger on the underside of that question. That's exactly right. Is this polling on the economy a stand-in for something that's a little bit deeper, that goes a little bit further down than we're looking? And the key for me is what the president said the last few weeks. What's been his appeal and his approach the last few weeks? Specifically to white women, specifically to white suburban women, right? They're coming for your homes. They're coming for your communities. At the end of that, at that economic rainbow for these folks lies the ugliness of fear of others, lies the ugliness of fears of my neighborhood, my community changing in a way I may not want, and certainly I would not express in polite company. So that's part of understanding what that 10-point number is telling us or saying, or specifically to your point, Katy, is hiding. Trump knows, he at least has a sense about that. And there's a reason why you've got to pay attention to how he talks and what he says, particularly to suburban voters.
This is where polling can only go so far.
Folks, think about this. Suppose President Obama had children with 3 different women. Suppose President Obama used to lie for just about everything, and they were provably wrong, provable lies. Suppose President Obama worked with foreign companies and foreign governments who influenced America. Suppose President Obama went ahead and stiffed customers that he had before. Suppose President Obama went ahead and did not pay his bills. He would have been a a womanizer. He would be stereotyped as a womanizing thug, thief. All these things he would have been labeled as many times he was labeled as. But Donald Trump can do all these things that would generally be considered negative. And even the people that should be the folks of virtue, the evangelicals, even they give him a pass. That is a height of privilege, and that is the bias others have to get over to move ahead. Classic. And it was, did you see that smile on Katy Tur's face when she developed that on her own? And when I talk to people about, I speak a lot about that in my book as well, right? The best thing that happens to people is when you ask them the question and then they are the ones who answer it themselves because they came into the question from their own intellect, because most people are smart. And if you don't tell them something, they have to exercise their brains to come out with the right answer. And they usually do. When they're honest, they usually do. And it was great seeing that Katy Tur's face, that smile changed. And she got it. And she got it. Now, our job as activists, as allies, and all as accomplices, our job is to get as many people as possible to get it on their own. I'm Egberto Willies, host of Politics Done Right, an independent news program. I post several news videos of interest every day. I ask you so kindly to subscribe to my channel, and please leave me some comments. Thank you very much.